Have you ever read something that wasn't just a story, but a full-blown, carefully constructed argument? Well, today we're diving into one of the most powerful examples of that you'll ever find, Matthew chapter 8. It's an absolute masterclass in showing, not just telling. Let's get into it. Right, so think about the context. Jesus has just finished the Sermon on the Mount, this world-changing speech where he taught with this incredible, unheard-of authority. But now, the talking is over, it's time for action. And Matthew, the writer, very deliberately picks and chooses these next few events to build a case, to prove a point about who Jesus truly is. So, here's how we're going to break this down. We're going to look at how Matthew presents this as a systematic demonstration of power, one realm at a time, building up to a conclusion that is, well, probably not what you'd expect. Okay, first things first. To really get this chapter, we have to lock on to the one idea that ties every single story together. And that idea is a very specific kind of authority. The Greek word that Matthew keeps coming back to is exousia. Exousia. Now, this isn't just about being in charge or having influence. Exousia is the real deal. It's inherent power. It's the fundamental right to act on your own accord without needing permission from anyone or anything else. It's not delegated power. It is the source of power. So, let's see this exousia in action. The first proof point Matthew brings is Jesus' authority over sickness. And you've got to remember, in the first century, sickness wasn't just a medical issue. It was deeply tangled up with your social status and your standing with God. Now listen really closely to what the leper says here. It's fascinating. He doesn't say, "Lord, if you can." He has absolutely no doubt about Jesus' ability. For this man, an outcast pushed to the very edges of society, the only question was one of willingness. I know you have the power, but are you actually willing to use it for me? And Jesus' reply is so powerful. I am willing. In the Greek, the word is thelo. And this is more than just saying, sure, I'd like to. It's a statement of will, of determined purpose. It's him saying, this is what I am here to do, to restore, to cleanse. And this moment is absolutely radical. I mean, it turns everything upside down. According to the law of the day, if you touched an unclean person, you became unclean. The contamination spread to you. But here, Jesus touches the untouchable, and the exact opposite happens. His cleanness flows out of him and overpowers the man's uncleanness. The rules have just been reversed. The evidence keeps building, and the next piece comes from the most unlikely of sources, a Roman centurion, an occupying soldier, an outsider. And yet, he seems to understand Jesus' authority better than anyone else so far. You see, this man lived his life in a chain of command. He gave orders and people obeyed. He took orders and he obeyed. He understood that true authority doesn't need to be in the room to get things done. It just needs to speak the word. And when he looked at Jesus, he recognized that same principle at work. He got it, instantly. All right, so we've seen authority over the human body. Now Matthew zooms the camera out. He's about to show us that this exousia extends even to the raw forces of nature itself. The scene is just pure chaos. A savage storm blows up, the boat is taking on water, and these experienced fishermen are terrified for their lives. And where's Jesus? Asleep. When they wake him, he doesn't just quiet the storm, he rebukes it like you would a disobedient child. And what follows isn't just quiet. The text says it was a great calm, an almost eerie, unnatural stillness. And here's the crucial part, the disciples' reaction. They're not just relieved, they are absolutely terrified. They ask, what kind of man is this? They're facing a category crisis. They're trying to put Jesus in a box, and they're realizing that no box they have is big enough. So for his third exhibit, Matthew moves beyond the physical world of bodies and weather altogether. He takes us into the spiritual realm. And what we find here is an incredible irony. While his closest followers, the disciples, are still asking, who is this guy? The demonic spirits he encounters have no doubt whatsoever. They know exactly who he is, what his authority means, and what it signals for their future. They get it instantly. And just like with the centurion servant, notice how it happens. There's no big struggle, no elaborate ceremony, just a single, powerful command. Go. It's a demonstration of absolute, effortless authority in their world. So, After this incredible, systematic display of power over disease, nature, and spirits, you'd be expecting a massive celebration, right? But that's not where Matthew leaves us. The conclusion is complicated and frankly a little bit scary. I mean, just let that sink in. Two men who were so tormented they were a danger to everyone around them have just been completely restored, made whole. The local nightmare is over. And how does the town respond? They come out and beg Jesus, the man who fixed their problem, to leave. It's a genuinely shocking reaction, isn't it? It forces us to ask, why on earth would they do that? And the unsettling answer seems to be that sometimes a power that is so absolute, so capable of rewriting the rules of your reality, is actually more frightening than the brokenness you've gotten used to. So, what's the big takeaway from Matthew's argument here? Well, first, that Jesus' power isn't just about doing miracles. It's the fundamental power that reality itself is built on. Second, that his very presence changes the rules of the game. And third, that encountering that kind of power doesn't always lead to joy. Sometimes it leads to fear. And that really gets to the heart of what Matthew is showing us. True faith, the kind the leper and the centurion had, isn't about hoping for a rule to be bent in your favor. It's about recognizing that you are standing in the presence of the one whose word sets the rules for reality itself. And so that leaves us with the final challenging question that this chapter puts to us. It's not, is Jesus powerful enough to handle our storms, our sicknesses, our problems? Matthew has made it pretty clear the answer to that is yes. The real question is, are we ready for it? Are we ready for the kind of world-altering transformation that happens when that level of authority steps into our lives? Or are we, like the townspeople, a little bit afraid of it?